Hey guys, how's it going? My name's always and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were in the end making an Enderman farm, and we are getting Ender Pearls at a decent tick. Let's get some coal blocks, because I kind of forgot about that part. And get that taken care of so that we send plenty of coal over there. We're also getting common treasures every once in a while. That's fine though. Today we are going to be working on getting some automation for the base up and running so that it's easier to make all the stuff we need for the creative energy cell, which there's a lot of stuff. At this point, some of the hardest things are going to be the draconic stuff. We're going to need to get a lot of draconium. Draconium. We're going to need to get a lot of draconium, and that's also going to require a lot of automation with thaumium, and just, yeah, bad things. So, I wonder, actually, I want to see something real quick. In thaumic energistics, is there a level emitter for Essentia? So there's the movement stuff, Digiscentia, and Essentia monitoring. So terminal, wireless terminal, and there is an Essentia level emitter. Awesome. Provides a redstone signal when the level of Essentia in the network falls below or rises above a set amount. Perfect. So that is something we want to do. We'll end up doing. We're not going to work with the Thaumcraft stuff today. We're going to work on getting automation for a couple of different things. So we're going to need. Let's look at what we're going to want to automate. We're going to want to automate clay. So this stuff we're going to want in here somewhere, like there. Perfect. And let's just go ahead and put all the clay in. Oh no, we already have a slot for clay. I forgot. Let's go grab our key, and we'll fix that. No problem. So we unlock it, and we'll take everything out, and then lock it. Perfect. So, we're going to want to automate the clay, and this is something that we're going to do as needed. We're going to want to automate soul sand, and again, as needed will be how that works. Soul sand can go here. We're going to want to automate netherrack and obsidian. Now, obsidian is going to be so netherrack will be as needed. Obsidian will be a level emitter. So we're going to need a couple of things. You know what? We're going to move this whole system over there, I think. And then we can also automate ice. That would be a good idea, I think. And that is going to be a level emitter as well. So we're going to need 2 level emitters. And we're going to need an interface. So can we get an interface? We have an interface. Perfect. We're just going to need level emitters. Now these are pretty easy to make. We just need redstone torches. And we have, let's see, sticks. We're going to need 2 redstone torches. And then do we have access to... Do we have 2 calculation processors? So yes, perfect. So there's the level emitters. Now we're going to need some cables and all that kind of fun stuff. And we're going to need our glacial precipitator. Didn't we make one of those? Yeah, I put it in here. Okay. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. Do we have... We don't have that many blank patterns. Let's make 30 of those. Because we're going to want a lot of that. So let's pop down here, and we're going to move all of this stuff over there. Do we have power lines over there? We do. Okay, cool. So this is going to work out pretty nicely. I need buckets. I need a couple buckets. So let's grab Do I not have any buckets? Where did my buckets go? That is something I shouldn't have to ask. Oh well. Buckets are easy enough to make. So we just need some iron plates. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, we only need 2. And we're gonna pop down here. We're gonna grab the water, and let's see, what else are we gonna want? We're gonna want, let's see, fluid ducts. Let's teach this system how to make hardened fluid ducts. Is that something we can do easily? I don't actually know. So hardened fluid ducts are like so. I don't think it needs to be aluminum glass. But before we can do that, we're gonna need Invar. And we can craft Invar, correct? No. Alright, well, 1, 2, 3 Invar is 2 iron. And ferrous? Yes, 1 ferrous. So we encode that. And then we can tell the system that Invar, 1 piece of Invar equals a pulverized, and everything will be good. So pulverize, let's see, induction smelter gets this recipe, and pretty much what we need to do is just kind of set things up so that we can automate everything we can. So Invar blend, and then that will just go, that will go in the pulverizer, and then the hardened fluid ducts should be craftable. Does it have to be the aluminum glass? Let's find out. Hardened glass. It's got to be the hardened aluminum glass. Alright, well that's not too bad. Actually, let's switch that and let's see if hardened glass works. So lead. Nope, it does have to be the aluminum. Okay, so we'll encode that. Do we know how to make the aluminum? Yes, okay. So with that taken care of, we can now get fluid ducts. So let's craft up 20 of those. And that shouldn't take too long. We're going to want, let's see, item ducts probably. Let's craft 20 of those. And we can also go ahead and get the energy cells that we made before and continue working on these guys, so something like that. So item ducts, those will take a little bit. Why is it crafting an engineering processor? What is taking so long with this? Why is it crafting that? So I don't see one. We'll just cancel that request. So let's just cancel that. And then I also want to go ahead and make a drum. Do we want to teach the system how to make drums? Nah, that shouldn't. We'll do that later if we need to. But for now, I don't think we need to. So cauldron, 2 of those guys, and drum. The reason we want a drum is because we're going to increase the capacity for the witch water. Rather than using those portable tanks, we're going to use a full-out drum. So item ducts, we're going to want servos. Let's craft 10 more. Easy enough. Let's see, the fluid ducts, we're going to want those, and redstone energy flux ducts. Alright, So let's start getting this stuff taken care of. First of all, this guy needs to go here. Pick this guy up. Portable tank, and we'll just drain him into the drum. This is going to be a buffer for all of our stuff. Now, let's go ahead and pick this guy up. We have some temperate fluid ducts. We're going to change to harden. I believe there is a difference. No? Okay. I thought there might have been a difference between the transfer rates, but if not, whatever. So that is transforming. That is empty. That's transforming. All right, so they're all transforming. We'll let them do their thing. And let's go ahead and get rid of all this stuff because we don't need it. And we can break barrels. Drains all that. And that stuff isn't going to transfer, so we'll just remove this and everything else. So my inventory is full. Perfect. Not too much of a problem. We will just kind of do one of these, and we'll just pick up everything we can, and we'll go put this stuff away. So we're just going to move this over to the other side. The reason being is because I want to. Having all of this over there, we can save on we can save on channels and interfaces. So that's kind of the reason why we're doing it. We're gonna need that. We don't need those. I don't want the jungle. I just want oak barrels. Let's take that one as well. So 6 will be good enough. And then that guy. Transfer pipes. And the clay. So can we pick this guy up? No. Oh, we could. Okay. And let's get some cobblestone. Some of this stuff. We could put that stuff away. And the temperate fluid ducts. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and do this. Clean this guy up. I want to make sure F7 says everything's good. And it is. So let's move everything over here. Like I said, the reason we're moving everything over here is while channels are going to be a little bit harder to get, we're going to have to run cable all the way over here. There's power right here, and the glacial precipitator needs power. So what we'll do is we'll put the glacial precipitator here, and we're going to have this redstone on signal required low. So if this receives a redstone signal, it will not make ice. And that's going to be important. Let's clean up, let's see. We'll put the aqueous accumulator here. And we're going to want water on these guys. And that's why we have the buckets. And that'll make plenty of water. So out the back we'll have an output, and out the top. So with that taken care of, let's see, we're gonna want to move this guy. Alright, let's pick up the water. We'll break this stuff. And let's break the stone barrels as well. And just for the time being, we're going to use this as kind of storage. So let's try to get this set up. First of all, let's pick up this stuff. And we will, we lost a little bit of it, I think, but that's fine. Let's get rid of that. And let's grab our cobblestone tiles. And first of all, I want to go ahead and make this look nicer. Doesn't really matter. And then we'll kind of deal with things as we go. So, do we want this here or do we not? I think it'll be fine. So, first things first, we're going to want the lava drum right here. So this will pump into the lava drum, and then the lava drum will distribute as needed. And let's go ahead and break that. Put that there. And what we're going to want is, let's see, if we put the interface somewhere like here, I think that would be the best. And then we'll have lines going up like so. And it's going to be messy with the wiring, but that's fine. So the reason why I want that there is because we want to have, let's see, we're going to want to have a chest. I forgot about that part, but we have a chest right here. So we use this. How do we want this? Okay, so we need to have the lava going to the obsidian, which is going to be level emitted. And also, let's actually just pick this guy up. We're also going to want redstone as to netherrack. And that needs to be off of this guy as well. So what we need to do is we're going to need 2 fluid ducts. 1 and 2. And we'll try to make this relatively compact, but no promises on that. Alright, so this servo will go to the obsidian, and we'll have a barrel with item ducts underneath. And the barrel will be basically right there. So we'll do item ducts underneath, and then we'll have the other barrel here. Let's move the water over a block. Can we, if we put that right here, that'd probably be better. So what we're going to do is we can actually store the water in there. And then pick this guy up. We'll move him over a block. Like here. And that should be fine. So, water and water, and that should be fine. So we're gonna want a servo on this guy, always active, and that will have a servo on it as well, which we'll set up in a moment. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a level emitter right here. So I believe we can do something like that. And then we're gonna want, let's keep this on the inventory, on the hotbar. And then what we'll have is obsidian. If we have, let's say, less than 300, emit when levels are below limit. And then this will, so what's going to happen is the level emitter is going to be connected to the system, and it's basically going to say, hey, what's stuck in here? It's basically going to say, hey, block of coal, why is, no, block of coal, what are you stuffed with? the treasure. Let's go ahead and put the treasure there, and this treasure as well. Or no, we're gonna put those into the system. So let's find a place for common treasure and rare and uncommon treasure. So, anyways, back to this. So what's gonna happen is our system's gonna say, our ME system's gonna say, hey, we only have this much obsidian, and when it's below a certain level, this guy is gonna say, hey, I'm gonna emit a redstone signal. And so, when it emits a redstone signal, it will turn this guy on, which will pump lava into that, into the stone barrel and make obsidian. So that's how that's gonna work. Now, let's go ahead and hook this guy up to power. Now this guy is the glacial precipitator. We're gonna have input on the side, output out the back, and we're gonna have another level emitter. Like, ooh, a little bit of lag spike, like so. And this one is going to be a little bit different. So this one will be for ice, and when, let's see, we have this enabled low. So, actually, let's enable it high, and it's the same thing. So once below 100 ice is when that will go off. So let's, I don't have, oh, I'm using the other item ducts, that's why. Alright, so we can take most of this stuff back. Cobblestone can stay in there, that can stay in there. Let's just kind of sort this inventory a little bit. And see, that can all go back. Cool. So, that is going to be what we do for ice. We just need to grab a piece of ice, and then that should be fine. So we just tell this guy ice is the target. Now if we ever find out that we need more ice or obsidian than what we are currently have that set to, we can go and change that later. Not a problem. So what we need to do now is let's set up the rest of the stuff. So the next thing to set up is both the clay and the soul sand. So witch water is gonna be over here, and both of these guys could be like right up against this, and we'll be fine. So put the ME interface down last. So mycelium, we're gonna want the hardened fluid ducts. So first of all, we can set this up, and that should be getting water. Now it's not going to produce anything until it gets a redstone signal, and it won't get a redstone signal until this is hooked up, because that's how that's going to work. So with that taken care of, this needs to go over here. And you know what? Let's make this a little bit easier. I think this will still work the way I want it to if we rotate the machine. Can I not rotate the machine? Let's put this down. We also need to eat, by the way. And can we put this guy right here? And it's not nearly as fast, so it was getting 800 every couple of seconds. Oh no, okay. So the aqueous accumulator works better when it is surrounded by water, so that's why we're doing that. So we'll have it go to both sides, and then we will get the witch water. So witch water is just oak barrels set up. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So that should transform these guys. And then we're gonna need to just pump this into this guy. We can move like here. And that should be easy enough. So I want to make sure everything is well lit over here. I don't want any mobs spawning if I can help it. So something like this. We'll disconnect that and that, just to make things look nice. And now we need servos. So this will be how we get witch water. And that should work just fine. Nice and easy. And it will give us a good supply of witch water that we can then use for whatever we want. So basically the reason I'm doing it this way is so that we have reservoirs of whatever supplies we're using. Now the witch water goes into a barrel to be turned into, so we need one more oak barrel, or we can use jungle barrels. It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and use jungle barrels for both. Actually, let's take this barrel. We're not producing dirt right now, so that's something we might do later, but we might not. I don't know. So we're gonna need, let's see, we're gonna need two things. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of space underneath. And let's see, that should be good. So what we're gonna do is an oak barrel right here with hardened food duct there, and then finally let's put that there, disconnect it. We're gonna break this, do that, disconnect that, and then we can do the clay right here as well. This is gonna be really compact and messy, but that's okay. So we'll do something like this, and this will give us clay by putting a barrel here. That will fill up with water. So now we need, let's see, let's take all of this stuff out and let's go ahead and pick up the chest. So the next thing is we put down this stone barrel, activate the servo, and what we're gonna do, how did it get lava? I guess there was some stuff in there already. We are going to put, let's put a block in the center, and this is going to be where the water goes to turn it to obsidian. So easy enough, just a matter of doing it, and there's obsidian once that is taken care of. So last but not least, we need to set up the, not only the, so let's see, that is going to give us stuff. So we need to set up a couple things now. So first of all, actually we can do this and set that up like so. Again, lights everywhere. Break this guy, and The last thing we'll need to do is this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's break these guys. Put the nicer stone blocks there. And what we're going to do is, actually, we could probably make this a little bit nicer looking. If we did one of these, and we'll have this output out the bottom. And then impulse item ducts all the way around. And that way the item ducts are in the ground, it's a little bit nicer. And then, let's see, this is going to require stuff, and then this is going to require stuff. So I think the best place to put the interface is going to be right... let's see, right here. And then we put the chest here. So that should work nicely. We need servos on this. That can be always active. That can be always active. See, this one needs a servo. That already has a servo, and then the chest will need a servo. And I think something like that will work. So we'll put a servo on the chest, and now we just need to connect everything up to the network, and there's one last thing we'll need to do. And it's not that difficult, but it is something that is incredibly important. So there's all that taken care of. Let's draw this up. And we'll go straight across, like so, to connect to this guy. And then I need to find some channels. I know we're going to need at least one. I think we need 3, but I don't know about that. How many channels is this using? Let's take it all the way back. And it's the white line. It is using 5 of 8. Okay, so we can connect it to that. And that is relatively close. Nice and easy. And before we do any connecting, the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure we have some filters. So we're going to need 3 filters. That should not be too bad to do. And we can get all this taken care of. So now we're going to need redstone. We're going to need not clay, dust. We're going to need, what's the last one? Sand. Alright, so we need filters on these guys. So these different barrels can only accept certain items. And we need to make sure it knows which item goes where. So the sand goes in the soul sand creation, so with the witch water. And this stuff is... Why isn't this harvesting? Can you not take it out of the side? You need to take it out of the bottom? And that might be a thing. But that's an easy fix. And then what we'll do is... Do we still have that cobblestone? We have a little bit. I missed. I was aiming for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just fly. It's gonna be easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then not there. Here. Okay. So 1, 2, and then I need more stuff. So let's go get some more cobblestone, and I think this will work. So we put the buckets back. We can put. We need the item ducts. No, we need fluid ducts. So hardened fluid ducts. All right, we'll just pop down here and finish this off. 2, 3, 4, something like that. And then like that. So where do we want to... We're still flying. Okay, where do we want to take this? We actually don't need this one. We could run it underneath from here. And I like having the stuff kind of nice and organized, so we'll do that. That'll look good. And it doesn't look good from down here, but it looks good elsewhere. So let's fly back around, and I forgot that one. Alright, so hardened fluid ducts. First of all, we just run those like so. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So will this drain everything if we do it right? So that goes there, and clean those up. Okay, so now will it work? Will you drain? Yes. So you have to pull from the bottom. The output on these barrels are the bottom. That's something I kind of forgot while setting this back up. So we'll just get all of this taken care of so it starts making witch water constantly. And basically, we just set the filters up and we run lines. So sand goes with witch water to make the soul sand. We'll do that just to make it look a little bit nicer. And let's see, in here goes dust to make clay, and then in here redstone, and we need one more servo, which I don't have. So let's go get one last servo. We missed one, and that should be everything. So we'll grab this, we'll hook this up, and that is going to be all of these systems automated really easily. So redstone to make netherrack. Alright, so with that taken care of, items will be transferred back into the interface, and all we have to do now is hook this up over here. So let's get through the mess. It is a mess over here, I realize, but it is a system that will work, or it should anyways, and that's really all that matters. So I don't know if this is going to take 3 channels or if it's only going to take 1, but everything should be up and running. Device missing channel. Device online. So evidently we have, so 300 obsidian is what it says, and then 100 ice emit levels. So do we not have enough channels? That could be a thing. 2 of 8, 8 of 8. So we should. Let's switch that with a dense cable. Can we make like 8 of those so that we can make them white cables? Otherwise, oof, I didn't notice the darkness there. That could have been bad. Otherwise, what we're going to have to do is... Let's see, does this line have any extra channels? We're at 6 of 8. No, that is not enough. See, the blue channels can take that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we only have 4 on the blue channels? We do. So let's get some more white cable, and we'll just kind of rearrange things a little bit. But a couple of things. So dense cable, we're going to want some of the blue. We're going to want bone meal, and then the dense cable so that we can make the white. And then we're going to want a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the white. And what we'll do is just real quick make these dense cables. And I'm going to put 2 just so I can see. And then this guy gets 2 dense cables. And then what we're going to do is we're going to break this. And we're going to put these guys on blue. That should work just fine, and then we'll just set everything else on white. So this blue line should be using 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then white line should be, once it turns on, like 4, 6. So this should be working. And I know we don't have that much ice and obsidian, so why isn't that working? Okay, we have the obsidian. How about ice? We only have 1 ice. So we need to make sure this works. But before we do, let's go ahead and teach the system how to make all this other stuff. So we're going to want processing patterns. So redstone equals netherrack. Dust equals clay. And sand equals soul sand. Perfect. Now I'm going to put these in manually because it's going to be easier. But why is this not working? Level emitter, this one should be off, but the other one should be on. Let's try out all of that stuff. So let's make sure we can make clay, and let's just tell it to make a piece of clay. And we should see this increase in just a second. So it's crafting. Why is it taking so long? Alright, so we should have like 213, I think is what it is. And that should be... No, what is going on? There's something wrong. Something wrong down here. The system should have it. But I don't know where it went. Did it happen to like go in here or something? No. It's not connected to that line, so that has... Oh, blacklist. I forgot to change those. So there we go. That should be that fixed. I forgot to change that from blacklist to whitelist. Oops. Oh well. So clay. There we go. Soul sand. We should be able to make 1 more of that. And that should be pretty quick. There we go. And then netherrack. similarly. That should be very quick as well. It just has to, there we go. Cool. So now we can craft all of that stuff. I just need to figure out what's going on with the ice. So, I mean, that's connected and everything. You know, it might be better if we break these. And move it over here. So, and you know what, let's break this stuff. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop the cables down here and put the level emitter right there. So 100 ice, emit when levels are below. So devices online. Oh, I just had to change that. Alright, so that's what I need to do. It needs to emit when levels are below the limit, not when above. Let's make sure this is emit when levels are below. Perfect. Alright, so that should make 100 ice for us. And it'll take some time, but it'll get there. So now we can automate. Let's see. Do we have... I want to see, do we have nether bricks automated? Yes. And that means everything... excuse me. Everything should be automated for Thaumcraft, which is kind of the whole point of what we were doing. So if we look at ice, we should see this gradually increasing. It's going to be relatively slow. That's why I want 100 of it. So if I need a ton of ice, things, the water shards, then I can quickly and easily make them. Now, something I wanted to do is just for the remainder of this episode, the automation that we did kind of took longer than I anticipated. And I know it was just kind of moving things over, but we made it a little bit more high-tech, and we made it a lot more compact, which is kind of good. We cleared up some space. We can, honestly, what we'll probably end up doing is pulling a wire off of here with blue, and we'll probably put all of our storage disks over here. I think that might be smart. But I'll do that later. I'll probably do that off camera. But the idea for today's episode was going to be to try to get as much automation with all of this stuff as we could. And what we were working on, let's see, the enhanced Galgadorian metal is probably the next thing we could probably start working on. So let's teach the system how to make stabilized metal. Let's start there. So that's why we wanted the obsidian. The stabilized metal requires a lot of obsidian stuff. So we'll teach that. We'll take one of those. And then do we have any of the hardeners? We do. So let's do stabilized metal. What is it called? Yeah. Stabilized. I just misspelled it. Okay, so stabilized metal. We're gonna need these chunks for the Galgadorian metal, and that's gonna be the hardest thing to make. So we need to teach the system that this equals that, and that'll be a smelting recipe. So that is taken care of. And then we need to teach the system this. And let's go ahead and put those in there. So this is just a crafting recipe, as is this. And this guy is a smelting recipe. So let's go ahead and get... okay, we already do have an ingot. So can we and get almost everything except for the mesh. So let's go ahead and craft one of those. That'll take just a couple of seconds. And then that will give us the chunks of stabilized metal. Now those you can use to smelt to make the reinforced metal. We don't need that. What we need is the stabilized metal chunks so that we can make the lumps of Galgador. Now the next part is this. So we need magma cream, gas tears, fermented spider eyes, and eyes of ender. What is taking so long? I guess it just needed to be refreshed. So that is just a crafting recipe, and we'll put that there. So next we need to teach the system how to make the eyes of Galgador. So let's go ahead and just Galgadorian metal. So the lumps of Galgador, we have everything but the eyes. So that is something we're going to need to teach the system how to make. Magma creams. We're going to need slime. Man, how much blaze powder do we have? We have a lot of blaze powder. So that part at least is good. So first of all, we can teach the system how to make eyes of ender. And that's just a simple craft. Next, we're going to teach the system what's going to be the best way to do this. So magma creams we can get from magma slimes. I don't know that we've had any magma slime spawn for us, so I don't know that that's a good thing. But we can do that recipe and get magma cream with slime balls. But the problem with that is slime balls. What's the best way to get slime balls? We could always farm the trees, the slimy trees, or bees. Raw jellyfish would also be an option. So a fisher, or mana infusing with cactus. I don't know what the best way to do that is yet, so I'll have to think about that one. Part of the problem though is the nether is not going to have magma slimes readily available to us. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So there is most of it. So the only thing left is the fermented spider eyes. And for that, all we need to do is grab this. We're gonna, I'll probably do this one off camera, but just pull all the items from here and put them into the system. That should not be too difficult. The only problem with that is going to be getting the armor sorted, so it doesn't fill up our clog up our applied energistic system. So there is the spider eyes and eyes of Galgador. And now here's the question: if I put all this stuff in here, and I'm kind of spreading them around because we don't want them to have to craft in the same interface, because if we need a lot of these, which we do, we don't want to like clog up the system or anything. So Eye of Galgador, we'll get one of those, and then now we can make the lumps. And that is yet another crafting recipe. We can put that there. And so let's get a lump of Galgador. Can we do that? We need more sugar and more gas tears. So the gas tears is actually going to be kind of easy. What I'm going to end up doing is we're going to make... actually, we might need to make another auto spawner and farm gas tears directly from that. Otherwise, we need to look into draconic evolution. So we can't make that, but that would get us on our way to the enhanced Galgadorian block. What's the Galgadorian block? Just the Galgadorian metals. So the enhanced Galgadorian block is the Galgadorian metal that's the large lump smelted down, and that's nasty, and we need a lot of them. So let's see, energy cells, can we get 8 of those? We certainly can. So I'm gonna have that go off, And what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of decide. So here's the things we need to automate. Spider eyes we're getting from our little mob farm, and honestly we need to take some cursed earth in there. I do need to set up a dirt farm again. I don't know what we're going to use, but we'll figure something out. So this is going to be easy enough. All we need to do is turn the lights on, and we'll break in, kill the bats, and then we just break all this cobblestone, and we'll just make this a cursed earth spawner. Not too difficult by any means, and it will give us a lot more mobs. So let's put down mostly dirt. And see, let's get the corners and the center. That should be enough cursed earth, and then we'll let it spread. So, oops. Luckily I have a silk touch shovel, and let's get out of here. It shouldn't burn up or anything. We'll put the dark glass back, turn the lights off, and eventually that will speed up. Had another creeper trophy. That's going to come in handy very soon. So if we can pull all the stuff away, and I think what we'll do is we'll get a couple filters or servos or something, and we'll just delete all of the armor that we are going to get. I think that will be the best option for us. So the plan is we need to farm gas. We have a sugar farm. That is easy enough. We're getting sugarcane quite regularly from our right there, and brown mushrooms is the only thing else that we're gonna need. So that's something we're gonna have to figure out to get the Eyes of Galgador. That and the slime. So we have Eyes of Ender, we have Ender Pearls, we have Blaze Powder. Gas tiers, we can farm gas tiers. That's not too bad. We could also sift soul sand, but that's a bad option. It's too rare. The only thing is the slime. That's bothering me. I have to figure out a decent way to get slime. And then brown mushrooms. Honestly, I think the best way to do that is either going to be a vanilla farm or can't this farm brown mushrooms? So I think what we can do, yeah, it can farm brown mushrooms. Can we put mushrooms, mycelium, and I don't know that I can do slimy saplings. Let's find out. And then some dirt. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of come over here, and that is more trees. Didn't necessarily want more trees. Let's put that down. And let's break all of these. And I want to see, I wish I knew the range. So will it do slimy saplings? It will not. Will it plant that guy? How about that one? So that one is there. So what we can do is put some mycelium here. That's there. So everything needs to go in these two slots. And how are we doing on, cool, we have metal. And then can I put brown mushrooms there? So all I'll have to do is grab another barrel and we'll have brown mushrooms. I don't know if those are going to grow. Barrel. I don't know how those are going to grow. I've never actually messed with this before, so not entirely sure, but we'll find out. Let's go ahead and put that here. And I don't believe the brown mushrooms can go anywhere, so that should be fine. Now if we watering can this guy, will he grow? Oh no, it spread the mycelium. So we need to break those. That's fine. Just a few less trees. Should not matter too much. Let's grab some bone meal, and I want to see if this will work. Otherwise, we could try to get the brown mushroom seeds, but that's going to be annoying. Just because the way brown mushrooms grow, we need darkness, and that's not fun. So will you harvest that? You do. And you make a ton of brown mushrooms. So if I give you bone meal, you will presumably do things. But I'm just not sure where you're going to use the bone meal. So let's just use it manually. And that should give us a ton of mushrooms. Yes, it does. Cool. So we have a farm for brown mushrooms now. Now, I don't know if those are going to grow and do the tree type stuff or what, but we can hope. Maybe I just need to feed them with bone meal. We can try that and see what happens. But at the very least, that is a way to get more brown mushrooms. So I don't know, like, what it looks like. It's gonna bone meal everything, so I don't necessarily want that. But hey, it'll at least give us the brown mushrooms. I'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. But so the only thing we need to do, I'm going to move this stuff into the system, and then I think the next thing to do is work on getting gas tiers and figure out the slime balls, and then we can start making a lot of the enhanced Galgadorian metals. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!